What's up guys, Redflex95 here, and let's just get right into today's video. Here I have the Nintendo Switch, which the original version came out in 2017, March, I believe, so over 8 years ago at the time of recording this. And it has jumped in popularity like crazy. It came in at a time where a lot of people were, it was just the fringes of COVID and people wanted like something you could take on the go, and this is what did it. During COVID, a lot of people went to Nintendo Switch because it was the most accessible console there was, very inexpensive compared to the other competitors at the time, including PC and PS4 and so on. In general, it did very well, and in its first month sold 2.7 million units, which is at the time record breaking. I'm sure that got broken several times over by other systems more modern, but you still got to think about that. 2.7 in 1 month. That is crazy. And it is one of my favorite systems there is. I put a lot of hours into this console. I think besides PS5, this is my most played system of all time. I have games on this that have like 300 plus hour game times, and that's insane to me. 1 second. I'm sorry for the pause. My cat was doing something bad. Back to the system. Since then it's released 2 separate versions of the Nintendo Switch 1 because there was like an issue with the original. They wanted to update that, so they've released it again. For better or worse, I don't know. Anyway, and then they released this version, which is the OLED model, which you can say what you want. This is mostly good if you play a lot of handheld. Personally, I play a lot of docked, so I never really cared about the whole OLED thing. I bought it because I really liked the Splatoon version. I would have gotten the Legend of Zelda version, but I just bought this literally a week before that was announced, and I'm just like, God damn it. But I didn't want to buy another Switch within 1 week of each other. So I just stuck with this version, and I still love it. I love the purple and green. These are 2 of my favorite colors of all time, so I can't complain there. And I'm just going to say it, I prefer this version over the Zelda model. The Zelda model looks nice, but I don't care about the Joy-Cons. I think they look hideous. I'm sorry, I'm just saying that right now. What's not hideous is the Pro Controller that is based on Tears of the Kingdom. This actually looks really nice and is the main controller I use for my games. I own a lot of other Pro controllers, but I'm not really going to go over and find them all. But that's not the point of this video. If you saw the title of this video, you guys know what the point is. I have upgraded to the Switch 2. Now, I'm going to be honest, this cost me a lot of money, obviously, $500 in fact, which I agree is a lot of money, guys, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, why doesn't it have like OLED or this or that? You gotta understand, that stuff ain't cheap. If it had all those features, this would be $800 plus without question. They wanted people to be able to purchase this, so they went, what are some things we could cut that will make this $500 guaranteed? This and that. Plus, if you play docked like I do, you don't really care about that because your TV is probably already OLED, which is what I'm going to be, or OLED. So, what's the big deal about the screen itself not being OLED? Personally, I never really cared about that criticism. I hear a lot of criticisms and things like that also about, the price in general being a lot. I agree. $500 for the Mario Kart World version, which is the one I got, that's kind of crazy. That really is. Plus the fact that the physical games are basically kart game keys now. Look, I totally agree that the fact that we technically don't own our games is kind of stupid. I really don't think that's a nice thing that Nintendo has done. Personally, I've never had an issue with digital games. In fact, I would say a lot of my library is digital only. Like, this whole thing, which you think would be full of games with how much I played my Switch, is only full up to this point. Like, I have 2 games on that page, and then this is all full. Those are all my physical Switch games, outside of maybe 1 or 2 that might be hovering around somewhere. Regardless, it sucks, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just something I've never really, mind. So let's just get into it. I know I made a lot of people angry with that. Not really an opinion, but I don't know. I don't really fall under this bandwagon of let's hate Nintendo because they did this thing that other systems have been doing for a long time. If you play PC games, 90% of the games you own on PC are probably digital. So it's like, why are you being mad at Nintendo for doing the thing PC has done for over 10 plus years now? I'm sure there's some things with PC where you actually own the games, sure, but again, it's the same situation. You own digital games on PC. Nintendo does it, and all of a sudden, they're the problem. Yeah, okay. Oh, this thing has some nice weight to it. So I want to open this part first, just in case. Yeah. Oh, well, it is scratch off, so wouldn't have seen the code. That's the game code for the what you may call it. Oh, okay, well, I bought extra ones of these, so I'm kind of mad that this came with it, but I didn't look at what this came with, so it is what it is. This is the dock, which I wish it came with the charge dock, not dock, but the grips, but whatever, it is what it is. I said that again. Look, this is my first brand new console in like probably 5 years. Unless my PS4 isn't, or PS5 isn't that old. I got that PS5, I think 4 years ago, actually. So yeah, here's all the stuff it comes with. The beautiful Joy-Cons. I love these Joy-Cons, by the way. They are fan-fucking-tastic. I actually kind of want to go grab my screen protector. I ordered for this first before we do anything else. Which way is it? Okay. So I believe that is, yes, this is the way it goes. Oh, I could have just looked on the sides because it's color-coded. Okay. So I'm going to grab my screen protectors real quick, and I'm going to go install those. I'm not going to do that on camera because I want to be focused for it, so I will be back. I want to do it now before we do anything else because it is as clean as it gets. I figured that's the best way to do it. BRB. I'm back, and I'm sorry if I'm a little burpy right now. I just had some sparkling water. I'm dehydrated, so I had to get some water in me, but this is a D-brand screen protector, Prism 2. I don't have the envelope it came in. I'm pretty sure it got recycled just recently, but it was immaculate. It was one of the best looking envelopes I've ever seen. It had like this really cool Doom looking ass comic on the one side. It was really cool. I threw it away though because I frankly didn't have the space for it. Plus I already ripped into it, so it's whatever. So here's the screen protector. I'm gonna keep that. Okay, box, I didn't need you to close. It's whatever. Nice little cleaning kit. And just in case I screw up on the first one, it has a second one, which I will keep it inside the box. Just in case. I don't want to get that all dusty. So now the cleaning kit, which is one of my favorite parts of a screen protector. I freaking love screen protectors. I fucking love how companies make the cheapest goddamn screens there is and then expects us to take care of it. Which, yes, makes sense, but still. I will say this, if you guys are punching your screens out of anger and stuff, like, guys, there are way more important things you could be doing than punching a fucking screen. And if you literally get angry to the point where you have to punch something, don't punch something hard like a screen or a wall. Find a pillow. There's pillows all over the fucking place. Go back to your room, go grab a pillow and just whack it a few times. You're good to go. Don't punch a wall or a living cat or something like that. Don't be an ass. Just have an emergency pillow next to you at all times that you could punch and you're good. Have a stress ball. If you're really getting angry, pause the game if you can, or something like that. Go outside and grab some fresh air, all right? Unless if you live in an area that's kind of dangerous right now. In that case, honestly, I don't know what to do at that point. Just be safe. Don't do something dumb, okay? Be safe. And I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody specifically, okay? Moving on. Just don't hurt yourselves, all right? Okay. Sorry, I just, as somebody with anger issues, unfortunately, I could sympathize with a lot of people. So from what I've heard, this screen is like a membrane rather than like an actual screen. I don't want to touch it personally, which is why I'm putting a screen protector on it. And yeah, so let's see. To keep this, I don't think we live in a dust-proof environment here, but that's whatever. Okay. Sorry for being quiet. I'm just trying to be very cautious with this. Okay, so it doesn't really have like a thing you put it over, so I haven't done anything with this yet. So I assume it goes like that, and then you pull the lever and fall into a pit with alligators. I'm sorry. Emperor's New Groove is fresh on the brain. I haven't seen it recently, but I love that movie. Oops, sorry. It is clean. Oh, there's a fingerprint already. I don't see why. Okay. It's a nice looking console. I haven't turned it on yet, but I very much enjoyed the design of this system. I wish it was a little more colorful, but that's just because I like a little bit of color in my life. Now we got four alcoholic wipes. Thank you, dbrand. I am not sponsored, by the way. I hate when these companies give you screen protectors and they give you like 2 or 1 wipe and call it a day. Not everyone's going to have access to more of these. So I very much appreciate companies being like, oh, no problem. Well, these are a little tiny, but no problem. Here's 12 wipes. Trying my best not to. Well, actually, you know, having a camera here is actually pretty nice because it gives me distance from the screen, which is nice because I have very long hair. So I, you know, to prevent any of that shedding, you know. This has already been 5 minutes, so I might cut this part out. So hopefully the video isn't going to go on for like 20 fucking minutes. What does this do? I don't think that's its intended use, but it's very clean. So, is there a directional? Doesn't matter what direction I put this. It doesn't really give me a direction. So I'm just gonna oops. All right, I'm back. It didn't really change much. I just cleaned up a few bit of clutter. I'm keeping this and the microfiber cloth because I tend to like to do that. And I used to own another microfiber cloth that I very vastly preferred. It was a Xenoblade X microfiber cloth for the Wii U gamepad, and I loved that thing, but I have no idea where it went. I put it somewhere one day. I folded it up and put it in a bag. Never saw it again. It was gone. So so this is more of a salmon color. It looked more reddish orange in the like the screenshots, and I would have preferred that, honestly. I don't mind this color. It's just not really my favorite shade. I'm not really a huge orange guy, personally. Oh, that clap is nice, or snap, whatever you want to call it. And this is a nice little cyan color, which is one of the 3 primary colors in printing. I think it's cyan, magenta, and yellow, I believe, are the 3 primary colors used in all colors. It doesn't matter what color it is, there's a little bit of that color in your print. So that is the full Switch, and it has some nice weight to it. These are not wobbly at all, which I very much enjoy. And from what I can tell, there's no like bulging on the back of this, which is very good because that is an issue some people had with the battery, is it kind of deteriorated in the warehouse. That's another point I heard about this console. It was people were mad at it because it was probably sitting in a warehouse for months. And we're like, oh, of course, Nintendo did that. Every company did that. I guarantee you every company at one point or another had a product of theirs sitting in a warehouse for months before the release. There's some that are probably the exception, but I guarantee you literally 90% of the things you buy have been sitting in some warehouse for much longer than a few weeks. Just saying. So let's turn this thing on. I'm sorry for being just very aggressive towards like troll shit. I'm in a bad Facebook group, internet group, you know, I need to move on. Oh. Unfortunately, I'm American. The Americas. I know about the controversy. You know, you can't mod this stuff and things like that. I don't see mine here. I found it. Yeah. And then there's a push and release levers on the side. I'll show you in a second. Oh. So right here, that's how you release the Joy-Cons. We'll do this one because I like how this one looks a little bit more. Oh, yeah, we're good. So handheld, tabletop, and docked. My preferred method of playing these consoles, by the way, this looks very good for not being OLED. I never cared about that. Honestly, I honestly think the screen looks much nicer than my current Switch. So You know, maybe depending on the game I play, it could be different, but not a big deal. I can still see the fucking smudge mark right here. I'm not happy about that, but I'm getting too hung up on it. I will say this. I missed the curved. I know they couldn't do it because of how these click in, unlike the guardrails, the rail system from the first one. I don't like how these are just flat. It feels really awkward on my hands. Giggity. I think there's a piece of dust right here on the corner. Oh, there it goes. Yes, that is what I will be doing. But I can't show you any of that because I don't want you guys knowing any information. I already showed enough in this video. So I will be tuning out real quick to do the system transfer. So I will see you guys in a minute.